Hello everybody, this is Raiden Balwan here, and I am bringing you a quick start, nice little tutorial on a game called Pseudoregalia. This is for the any percent route. We will be going over some of the most necessary tricks, we'll be going over the route and some other things to get you started and get you running this game, because honestly it is one of the most fun games I have played in a long time. Now, at the start of the game, you have this little cutscene. At the start of the cutscene is when the timer starts, and you skip the cutscene, we go right into it. The important things to know about this game is that this game is a 3D movement-based platformer, and it is sort of an action RPG. As we just kind of go through the beginning jumps here, you'll want to make this jump here, you'll snap the ledge, and we'll go pick up the very first upgrade, the weapon. Many things you can do with the weapon, but for now, all we need to really know about the Dreambreaker is that you have a 3-hit combo, and after the 3rd hit, your character has a bit of a delay before they can swing again. If you see the input display, I'm mashing my attack button, and yet I have to do this little pirouette twirl between my attacks. So on the way here, one of the safest things you can do is just, as you run by, you don't have to stop, as you run by, just whack that egg a couple of times as you go through, just to get meter. Meter we will need later. Continue on. I'm taking this route kind of slow, but pretty casually, as there's not too much special movement we can do up to here. Now I'll show you the beginning way first, and this is the way you can start with. As we move through this room to the end, this cage in front of us is actually grabbable. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna line up, we're gonna do a full jump, holding X all the way till we grab it, push forward on the stick to get on top, and then jump over to this blue box, and we're out. Now, to show you that a bit faster, but what it would look like, you can also, if you can, you do a side flip. I know I haven't gone over those yet, but I'll address that in a second. Just get onto this cage if you wanted to, and get up faster that way. That is a bit harder, though. You might not want to do that as a beginner. I'll go over that one in a second when I talk about the movement. But again, just to show you this room one more time, at speed. Come in here. Jump here. Jump up here. You actually don't need to grab that ledge. You could have full hopped. That was a small mistake on my part. You want to run, grab this cage, and it's important to not hold forward on this. If you grab this ledge and you just hold forward, you actually soar right over it and fall down, which is not helpful. And if you jump too early like that, that was a genuine accident. That was not to show you, but it's a good, showing, not telling of mistakes you can make. Alright, and for this route, we will not be going through the first boss. We'll actually be going through this secret side wall here as we run past this. You want to whack it a few times. 3 or 4 is usually good. As we're going to run our way over here and grab the slide power-up. As we grab the slide power-up, there's a lot to talk about with the slide power-ups. We're going to take things one at a time. So now we're going to discuss the movement a bit. You move simple, you have a crouch, which is also the slide button once you have the slide power-up. If you were to run and push back in the other direction, you see Sybil slides a bit. And if you jump at this point, you do a side flip. So that's moving back, and see if I push back, then forward, I can do a flip that moves me forward. And I did one of these earlier when I showed the other room. But now we have the slide, and the slide has a few very interesting properties. There's an upgrade later, which lets you do a big one of these flips out of a slide. But you can actually do it a bit early. So when you slide, you notice that if I mash the slide button, there's a bit of a delay. You can see Sybil stands back up, and the slides don't actually link together well. However, halfway through the slide, you're allowed to input things, and if you input a jump, you notice that your slide just cancels. You see, I don't have this little standing up animation. I just am walking again out of the middle of the slide. Which means, if you cancel, and then hit slide again immediately, you can see that I can now slide in very quick succession. It's a bit of a timing thing, and I'll admit I'm not perfect at this. I struggle with these, so my timing is a bit off. But that's the first thing you want to practice, is trying to chain these slides together. I try to think of it as a rhythm where there's a delay, and then an X and an L2, or whatever your jump and dash buttons are. in very quick succession. So something like this. You can see the input display. The next thing to know about the slide is that if you slide off of a ledge at the start of your slide, you actually gain the slide's momentum in the air. And what you can do with this is if you keep jumping, you don't lose that momentum, as you can see, or you lose very little of it, and you actually can keep going, whereas if you didn't jump, you can see I'm slowed right back down. So as long as you jump as you hit the ground, you can maintain whatever momentum you had in the air, and of course, provided you drift properly and don't bump walls. Now, for the big one. I talked about that side flip earlier, and I've talked about canceling the slide. Well, if you cancel the slide, and then perform a side flip, you can get some monstrous air. In this case, I'm just sliding, holding backwards, and double tapping X. The first tap is to cancel the slide, and the second tap is to trigger that backflip, since we have forward movement. You'll know you've got the timing perfect when you have a trail of yellow behind you, and the timing being 2 consecutive fast jump button presses, and having jumped as early as you can out of the slide. Because again, the slide doesn't take your inputs at all times, only at about the halfway point. And you can do it later and guarantee it, but you'll notice it's a bit slower than if you do it right off the mark. So now we have the culmination of everything. We have the backflips, the slide cancel, the slide flip, and that forward backflip. And this is probably the hardest technique you'll have to learn mechanically for the route, is doing one of these big backflips, but forwards. So the way I'll do it, I'll break it down with my inputs. I'm going to slide forward, push down an X to cancel the slide, and then push forward an X, and when I say X, I mean jump, for you Xbox controller players, which would be A. And I'm going to push forward and jump, and that will trigger my backwards flip, but in a forward direction. If you watch here, I mess it up. Of course, set myself up for that one. And there we have it. So that is how you take this backwards momentum and convert it into a forwards long jump. Now, back to the route. Once we grab the slide, you'll do exactly what you just saw me do here. If I can not mess it up. See, you'll get this a lot of times when you're learning. You'll input the back, if you input the back X a little too early, you don't cancel the slide, and then you just get a little too short, and then you just get this little skidding animation. So you want to take this, you want to jump back up here, and if you grab the ledge, that's okay. The important thing is we're heading back out here. And off this ledge, you'll see I'm going to do a speed slide. Just sliding for speed. And I'm going to start jumping to maintain that momentum all the way back to this wall here. I'm going to beat it up. We'll have hit it a bit on our way in. And now we'll break it. And now we are going to go through a dark area. And I know this is threatening to go through as a beginner player, but we have some help here. If you push L1 or your equivalent of your controller, you will throw your weapon and it will emit some light. And now this is a mechanic in the game that is never really explained, but if you grab your weapon while you're in the dark, you'll notice that, look, I'm no longer pitch black. I actually can see very slightly around me now. So you'll see, if I actually walk out here, and I go back into the light, and then I walk back here, it's dark again. It only works one time when you're in the dark, but on your way in here, you'll throw the weapon, and you'll grab it. Now, I'll show you the path up here, first and foremost. So what we're going to do after we walk in is we're going to go right, and we're going to do another one of these slide hops. You can even do this one backwards if you want, if that makes it easier for you. The fastest way you could do it is to slide in and just jump like that. You're going to go forward a bit, and if you're not comfortable slide hopping, you can just jump up here, hanging to the right. A spike will fall from the ceiling, but you're fine. If you want to, you can also do another ultra hop, as they're called, to get up here. We're going to go down into the right here, and you'll see that as you look around, you can see these openings, kind of like that purple part of the screen here, and that's where we're heading next. And we can get there just with regular movement or with ultra hops. As you begin this, I would definitely recommend just trying to do like slides off of the edges and then just jumping to maintain the speed. It's a little tricky, but it might be easier for you if you're still getting used to the ultra hops. Now here we have another ledge to get up to, so we're going to get out of the way of that. Failed the ultra hop because I was in panic, but this is a rather hard one to get. But if you can't get it, the ledges are on the right and then the left, and you can just jump up like normal. If you're like me, what I usually do is, if I can't get it quite all the way, say I jump a little too early, or I don't do a perfect jump, if I cannot do a perfect jump, I'll aim to the left here so that I can get onto this ledge and grab. And then up there is our last exit point in the dark room, and then we're done with the dark. So we'll do one more. Of course, I'm failing my ultra jumps now because the nerves are getting to me recording a video here, but we'll do one more jump up to here, and again to show you that. Oh, you can do a bit of a faster jump there if you want to. So one more time, I'll go through and I'll show you the entire dark section from scratch. There'll be a couple of spikes on the ground, and I apologize for that, but can't help that necessarily. I know that the dark section is one of the biggest fears in this route. So I'll show you it all at speed and show you what it might look like. So we break the wall, we come in here, we throw our weapon to get a light, we make the first jump, make a second jump, and I'll discuss what I just did there a little bit later on. Use hops to get over here. I had to watch out for the spikes here, but you normally won't have to. We'll jump up to here, and then from here, make one final jump to the left, and out the door. Now we're in the underbelly, having successfully sequence broke the game quite a bit. We're going to be heading down here. Smack one of these little guys on your way by. If you can hit a couple of them, even better. And essentially, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reaching the start of the game. You can do a... I was actually messed this one up in my runs, but you can do a flip here to get up a little faster. We're going to be heading through the back half of the game to get back to the start of the game without having to fight the first boss. And oh, I messed up. Yeah, the movement here is very difficult to practice, but you can get a slide off that ledge and keep speed, which I didn't. I'll go back and try and show that off here. I actually don't know what this area looks like. So you can do, I know some people do a flip here to make sure they land on it. I like to usually just slide off of the ledge. And you'll see from my input display, but not from my movements, that I'm trying to do these like canceled slides whenever possible, because it saves you time over the run. Now, here's the one that matters. All of the other jumps don't really take you over any kind of lethal pits. This is a jump. Well, you'll have to hit at least one of these. You'll have to... Well, I actually didn't even get a flip there, but I did get a hop. See if I fall into the pit, if it'll respawn me up there. But you're trying to get on top of this. It's not respawn. You're trying to get on top of this. You're either going to do that with a hop or just a jump off the ledge like I just did there. And then from here, you'll want to get up on this. I find is easier. I know there are some people who prefer just to make the jump straight across here. But I like to go on that ledge just because I think it's safer. And from here, we're just going to slide off the ledge looking at that torch. We're just going to slide off the ledge vaguely towards that torch. And we're going to use jumps as we hit the ground to maintain that sliding speed and get all the way over here. Again, we're going to use our faster slides wherever possible. Jump to maintain a little bit of momentum. And we're going to make our way to this pole. And up. And you'll see that you'll probably notice that I'm going for a lot of flips and cancels that I'm not getting. These inputs are difficult, and I by no means claim to be a master. I just claim to be somebody who is fairly decent at running this game. So, when we get to this ledge, as you're sliding up, you'll want to make sure that you time your ledge, even maybe walk a bit if you have to get a slide off of here, because we're going to try and maintain this speed for a while as we hop this way to go get our second actual upgrade. And if you don't have enough meter, you can, or enough meter for one heal, you can hit that sword as you pass him a little bit. So, as I failed there, we're going to go up this ledge, and we're going to try and jump across to that little gap in the wall there. Of course, I jumped a little too early. You'll notice that in my PB run as well, I do the exact same thing. It's a little bad habit of mine. You notice that on a lot of these, I'm not actually getting... I'll show it one more time here, so you can watch my inputs. I'm not actually getting the perfect jumps. You don't need perfect jumps for this route. You just need good enough jumps, I call them. Good enough jumps. So we're going to jump up here to the left, slide in, and grab our first major upgrade, the Solar Wind, aka slide jumps. This changes the game dramatically, as I will show off here. But first things first, for the any percent route, we're actually going to take advantage of this game's checkpoint system. We're going to intentionally slide left here to fall into some poison, and we are going to warp all the way back to the bridge here. So again, down there is where we just came in. You remember I stopped there to tell you to slide off the ledge. We have just warped all the way back and saved ourselves a lot of walking time. Now, the upgrade we just picked up, the slide jump, introduces that bunny hopping we did from ledges, but now from anywhere. So now, as long as you have a straightaway, or at least a minor curve, you're going to be doing these slide jumps and bunny hopping, as the route will take us next to the tower as we go here. You'll notice that pretty much everywhere I go from now on, it's a slide jump into a sequence of bunny hops to maintain speed. And as long as you slide jump here, you can snap these ledges pretty easily. And we are coming up on the first major hurdle, I suppose the second major hurdle of the area, depending on your thoughts on the dark area. This is the tower climb. You're supposed to have the high jump, the ground slam, and the wall kicks to get up here. We have slide jump. So, what are we going to do with slide jump? Well, you may remember that we were doing the ultra hops with a back and forward jump input before, but that doesn't work now because we actually have a jump. But now that we have the jump, we have access to the quote-unquote intended mechanic of ultra hops, which is being able to jump backwards out of them, out of a slide jump once you land on the ground. And you notice from my inputs, I'm just doing a regular slide jump, and then I was pushing backwards and X when I land on the ground, and then the same thing without the X button, without the second X button press, mind you, because you don't need to cancel anything. You can do back and forward, and get a forward one. Watch again, back forward, and get a forward one, and if your inputs are clean and precise enough, you'll get the big glowing trail as well. So again, back, oh. Yeah, if you're not clean, you'll just get a regular jump like that. So again, we have backwards, and then if I flick down, up, at the right time, you get forwards. The important thing about these, and you'll see the reason I'm making the mistakes, is that they do not buffer. Unlike your normal jumps, where if you watch my X button inputs, you can buffer them a little bit. Like, I'm hitting this clearly before Sybil hits the ground, and I'm getting a jump. I'm trying to push it here, but these inputs, you know, as I hit the back and X there, they do not buffer. So you have to wait until Sybil hits the ground and then input them. And that's where a lot of the level of skill is going to come in, when the ground is at different elevations from your starting height, for example, something like that. Or jumping onto a ledge like this. You know, knowing when you're actually going to hit the ground is the difficulty. Back and forward, things of that nature. So, I would take some time, the first time if you're following this along this guide, just practice around here, you probably have been. Practice around here, hitting these jumps forwards and backwards. You'll see that not even I hit them consecutively. And now, once you feel comfortable with it, we're going to get into the tower climb, as it's called. So, I was just mentioning that as soon as you hit the ground from a slide jump, you want to push backwards and jump to get this super jump. Well, we're going to take advantage of that, as we're going to slide jump into this tiny slope by doing an immediate slide jump from here, so no starting up slide, just the jump, where we're going to jump and slide at the same time, and you'll see that we hit the ground basically like right in front of us. So we're going to immediately flick towards that area right there where I just threw my sword, that little like broken part of the archway. So you get a feel for the positioning, but it's around a camera position like this to go straight backwards. We're going to do the jump and then do the back and jump to get the super backflip to hopefully land up there. Or you can snap the ledge depending on the positioning, but it can be a little precise. Don't be worried if you can't get this right away. This is a fairly difficult spot. The input is very consecutive, and the angle is pretty precise. And I recommend taking a lineup that looks something akin to this. And you should grab the ledge just fine. Next, we're going to try and get up there. We're going to do a basic slide jump this way, and then back. I know there are some people who like to run over here, and this is another way you could do it, and jump forward, and then do a forward hop. I'm actually not used to doing it this way here. You could do a forward hop up there as well, if that is more comfortable for you. From here, we'll just slide hops, and again, you'll see that I'm doing jumps as I hit the ground to conserve momentum, as I was before. And we're going to get up here. Now, what we're going to do, I'll tell you the end goal first, is we're going to do a slide jump off the top of this pole, which is, if you look at my inputs, normally not something you're allowed to do. But because we fell in the pit earlier, we took damage, and so we're missing half a heart, and because we whacked those enemies, we actually got enough energy to do a heal. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump up, and you notice I'm holding the heal button right now, nothing happens, but if I jump in the air, I can start to heal. And you'll notice that when I land while healing in the air, I get this puff of smoke, and you'll see Sybil's standing a little weird on the pole. And I feel like I can attack, I can heal. To jump on a pole, normally you're supposed to stand like this, but if you land while healing, you let go, you are now in, essentially the game thinks you're on the ground. So from here, we can do a very quick slide and jump input to land here. So one more time, let me show you it in motion. You'll get to the top by holding up. You'll jump, start healing to land, and then you'll slide jump over to here. Now those are going to be the inputs to get up here. Now, once you're in here, there's the upgrade we're going for, the wall cling. We're going to line up on this bridge, and we're going to do a jump like that, except we're going to land it. So, what did I just do there? Because that looked different than the other ones we've done. Well, just like how we can push backwards and then flick forwards to do an ultra hop, you can also push backwards and then flick in any direction to do an ultra hop, as I show here. You can go left, you can go right, you can go whichever direction your heart desires. You'll see you can do some kind of weird slide jump things up slopes to maintain your speed. That's a little optimization. So we're going to try this again. We're going to do this jump. And if you watch my inputs, you'll see that I spin to backwards, and then I push towards the direction I want to jump to, and I jump. One more time, I'll do it from this side. You'd never have to do it from this side, but I'll just do it from this side, just to demonstrate you can do it in any direction. So again, you push, you want to get the back input once you hit the ground, and then roll the stick to whatever direction you want Sybil to jump in. Now, with those tutorials out of the way, we'll grab our cling gem, and we'll continue along the route. Fall down here, send the elevator down. Oh, you should slide off that ledge with speed. I'm going to open the tower door for later, and we're going to go back. And you'll see that anytime I have straightaway or distance, I'm doing these hops, and I'll slow myself down here just to make sure that I make it across this safely. Do a slide jump, and then immediately start bunny hopping again. And if you're... Yeah, once you get more advanced, there are some lineups and setups you do there that can help you maintain the speed even faster. So notice here, I'm still bunny hopping, still maintaining that speed, and we're just going to head out of the tower, down to the right, all the way back to Castle Sansa. Now we're going to use our bunny hops, go straight through this door, and we're going to jump to the right wall, and use our new wall cling to get over here. From here, we're going to slide into this room. We're going to do a jump up here to grab this key, and then we're going to jump right across for our Indignation power-up. This power-up gives you an attack and a range boost to your regular attack. The more meter you have and the less you heal, so ideally we'll want to be keeping it at full. You can whack a couple guys here to get some meter on it. From here, what I do is just jump over to this wall ride it, and then front flip is here. We are going to go get our... We're going to go through here to the library to get our kick upgrade. From here, you'll just want to do another flip to get up here. And if you're having trouble with this one, you could always do just a regular backwards flip to guarantee you get the heights to get up here. 3 hits breaks the wall. And we will continue on into the library. The library, we're just here for the kick power-up. So we're going to maintain, I'm going to maintain speed over here. And I use a lineup off of this hay bale to go forwards, do a backwards jump, and another backwards jump to get up here. We're trying to get in there, and I'll show that one more time so you can watch my inputs. Do a backwards jump, and then a forwards jump. You can actually chain these for as long as you can land. You'll lose a bit of momentum each time, but as long as you were just inversing your direction with these flips, or at least vaguely going backwards and then flicking the direction you want, you can chain as many of these flips as you want. One more time. You'll see that happens if you go neutral when you hit the ground, so you don't get any momentum. So from here, we'll just jump across, slide through here, and we'll pick up the Sun Greaves, the most fun, the second most fun power-up, in my opinion. And also, for some reason, yes, you do have to hit that 10 times. I don't know why. The Sun Greaves give us an air kick. This air kick, as you see, bounces us off walls. It's important to note that when you're in the air, you see I can flick the stick and do a kick in any direction I want. And then from there, the character kind of turns a bit as I drift. If I try to drift forward and back, you notice it will turns, kind of rotating like a clock. But if I just push down and X first, you'll see the kick is immediately there, no turn required. So normally you're supposed to be able to use this to bounce off walls, and if you go at a sideways angle, you can actually get some forward momentum off of it. But one of the biggest things we'll need here is actually what's called reverse wall kicks. So if we use that, I can kick straight backwards like that to my advantage. I can jump up, kick backwards, and then drift into the wall. And you'll see that I actually kick off the wall backwards, and I gain height while staying next to the wall. One more time. I'm pushing back to do the kick, and then just flicking my stick forward to drift into the wall. You see, if you normally wall kick like this, you gain very little height, if any, and you can't wall ride after it. But with these, you absolutely can. And that last one was incorrect, but you can do things of that nature. You can also kick the sword while it's in the air. That's not needed in the run. That's just a bit of fun people can do. I actually can't do it, but I know one can do it. There we go. So once you have the kicks, we'll head out over this way. We'll do a little hop to get up here. Usually shooting for that corner. If you don't want to do a hop to get up here, or you think it's a little too tough, you can just do a wall kick. And from here, we should remember we have that wall cling that we got earlier. It gets us through these areas a lot faster than if we just kick our way up, although there's nothing wrong with kicking your way up as a beginner. Do a slide jump here, ride the wall, and get ourselves a little bit of height. In this room, we're just going to go jump and grab on the wall and just make our way through. And we are done with the library. And oh, I forgot to note, while you have the kick, you can use the kick to get more time with your air. So you see that I can kick and maintain this momentum, and I'm maintaining it for a lot longer. I have to do less time, less jumps. It means I have less risk of losing my speed. Now, when you come out of the library with kick in hand, we're going to make our way down over this way. We're going to perform a hop up here. And our goal is to get up there. In order to do so, there's several ways we can do it. The fastest way is to do a hop to the left from there. If you find that a little too difficult, you can jump towards this wall and just do 3 simple wall kicks to get up here as well. Once we're here, we're going to do backwards wall kicks to ascend this little bit of wall here. And I actually messed them up. You'll see sometimes you can overshoot it. That's why I think the safest route is to just do some of the kicks, but of course I'm messing that up too. The nerves are really getting to me. Like I said, none of these tricks are particularly easy, and you see if you do forward kicks there, you can't really get on a wall. None of these tricks are particularly easy, and they do take a good deal of practice. So, we're going to try this again. And there we go. 2 kicks gets you up the wall. We're going to do some regular movement, and we're going to make our way over to the keep. Now, the keep is a very free area in this run. You can do several things in any order you wish. We're going to start with the order I start with, the hardest ones. We're going to come here. Use that key we picked up earlier to unlock this door. We'll come here later. And we're going to talk about the orb room skip. Now, this is definitely the hardest trick in the run. And I don't want anyone to feel intimidated if they can't do this first try. So, our goal is going to be to get on top of the door, to jump over to that platform, and then to jump over to that wall and ride across it to the door that's all the way up there. You can see it, the kind of where I'm pointing the camera. So, let's start with getting on top of the door. I have the one of the best methods you can do here is to jump like that, do just a regular back forward side flip, and then do 3 wall kicks to get up on top of the door here. Now, there is a more advanced setup, which I'll show here, where you can slide in and do a regular backwards ultra hop in order to get on top of the door frame. That is much more advanced, and I would not recommend learning that to start with. But if you learn it and feel comfortable with it, know that it is faster. Now, we're on top of the doorway. The next thing we're going to do is execute an immediate slide jump. We're going to kick while in the air, and then when we land on that platform, we are going to do a sideways flip to the right towards the wall. So I'm going to have to push my stick backwards, then quickly roll it to the right, and push jump again. Altogether, it might look something like this. Oh, it might look something like not actually sliding, which is something that happens occasionally if you push your L2 button a bit before your stick moves. Altogether, and from here, once we're up there, I realized I forgot to, I was a little too low there, which is something that happens. It might have been fixable, but either way, it gives me time to talk. What we're going to do once we're up there is we're going to do 3 wall kicks in kind of a triangular formation, and pardon me while I do the harder way to get up there, because I don't know the easier way. Apparently, I'm not good with wall kicks today, and I apologize. So, we're going to try and do 3 kicks, 1 off of the right wall, 1 off of the ground where that doorway is, and then a 3rd one off of the right wall. So again, as we jump up here, we're going to do 1 off the right wall, 1 off the front, and then another off the right wall, and we're going to get up here. And this skips a whole room that's over there, and a power-up that we don't need. Now, we're just going to keep going through this room here, hit the switch, do some jumps across, maintain your speed, wall run, jump and hit the switch, and get onto this pole. And from here, there's 2 paths. I'll show the easier one first. You know, wall run over here, and then wall run over here. And ta-da, we're at the end of the room. But, oh, it's actually not going to respawn me back there. Alright, I guess I'll just get back over there this way. You can actually do a little wall run on here. So, as you notice, when you jump at a wall with a kick, the game has a generous window. A generous window where it allows you to bounce off of the wall. But, while you're in this generous window, you can't actually cling on to the wall with your wall cling. But if you swing your sword out of the kick, then you can. So watch, I'll kick. Oh, I actually lost the ability to wall kick there, which is a strange bug that I've not seen before. I did not realize I had that bug. But I will wall kick off the wall here, wall kick back towards it, and with a swing, cancel the kick so that I can wall ride there. That way is slightly faster, but do whichever one you feel is easiest to you. Now, as we move into this room, we're just going to make a big jump across the gap. wall ride across the wall here, hit the switch, and go right back up. Oh. Sometimes switches in this game don't hit when you want them to. So make sure you hit the switch before you make your way back up. Then from here, we're going to get on there, and the way I like to do this, there's several ways you can do this. I like to do a forward ultra hop and make your way over here. But since you have the kicks, you can scale the wall with kicks if that's easier for you. Or you could even do something a little more basic akin to this and just make your way up here. From here, we're going to slide off, wall cling here, and make our way to open the big door. Oh man, I swear levers. The hitbox levers, you'll get used to hating them. The hitboxes on levers. I'm gonna open the door here, maintain a bit of speed. I constantly forget that I have air kicks. Lost my speed there. If you ever lose your speed, just do another kick. We're gonna grab our first key and begin to make our way back. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go get the ground pound upgrade, or the high jump, or the sunbreaker. I forget what it's called. I'll see its name in a moment. And that's this door we opened earlier. Now, oh, something I realized I've forgotten to mention. I'm very sorry. You can do side flips, not just out of a slide jump, but at any point while you're maintaining the momentum. So you can essentially think of doing these bunny hops, not just as keeping speed, but storing these flips. Is what I like to do here, is get in here, and basically fire off the storage that I'm holding down this hallway as a jump to get up here faster. Of course, you do not need to do this, but it can be one of the fastest ways. You can even just do it off of a regular slide jump here. Just get up here, make your way through this room. You're just going to turn the corner sharply. You're going to turn the corner sharply, and we're going to get our Sunbreaker power up. 7 hits to break that wall. Make your way up here. These walls are really weird, and you can't kick off them, and I don't know why, but that's just how it is. Sunsetter, that's what it is. And I know the names of these things, I swear. So this ability gives us a ground pound. If we jump while out of that ground pound, we'll get increased height, as you can see. The other thing, which it doesn't tell you, is if you jump right as you ground pound, you can actually do a one-time backflip. You can't do this twice in the air. But this can help you gain a little extra height, especially with wall kicks, which you can wall kick off this wall. So you can see, even if you accidentally wall kick a wall and you just don't quite reach a ledge, you could always try and backflip and reach it. And of course, this ledge isn't that good because it has something above it. But that is all the specifics we need for the ground pounds. Now that is the movement when you want to leave this room. You ground pound through here, jump, and do a forward ultra hop up here. Failing that, you can also just do a regular ground pound high jump. That's what the game expects you to do. I'm going to open this gate, and we're going to head back in here. And like I said, this area is very freeform. You'll notice that every time we complete one of these things, we're coming back to this hallway. You can do these in whatever order you want. I'm just showing you my preferred order. So from here, we're going to go in the third door. Going to head this way. Going to wall cling across here. Get up on this ledge. And at this point, you have two choices. You can do them in either order. I'll start with the power-up upgrade first. You're going to want to line up a jump here, and just do a ultra hop up to here. You'll break a wall. You'll have a fight with a maid. The maid has a few attacks. One of them summons plates. One of them, the most annoying one, I'll see if I can get her to do it. That backflip is the best one you can get. But if she puts her hands over her head, she's going to do the upper kick. If she makes the noise, she'll summon plates. And if she puts her hands to the side, she's going to do a sweeping kick. And her final, most annoying attack, which she will not do here, is this spinning attack, which will take a whole heart, there it is, and knock your sword out of your hands. That's a very costly one to get hit by, and you want to jump that one at all costs. So either way, once she's down, we get Strike Break, which is our upgrade to break these weird green walls. We'll only really need this in 4 locations, the first 2 being right here. So we'll do 1, charge up at little kick, and 2 right here. Now, the next thing we're going to do here, and this is another difficult one, is we're going to go in and grab the key from the underbelly. So you can do a high jump there, as I shown, but you can also do a rather difficult forward ultra hop. Sometimes, yeah, if you don't have the right speed, you get caught on the lip like I did, and you don't actually carry much speed. Alright. But, nonetheless, you want to get to the underbelly, maintain your speed, use your jumps and your kicks to time things out. We're going to make our way to where the underbelly key is. And this skip is a doozy. So be prepared to spend quite a lot of time learning this. So you have two ways to get up here. You can do a regular ultra hop. Or if you're struggling a bit with those inputs, you can go all the way up here. You do a backwards ultra hop. Nope, not like that, but sorry. This way. Up to this wall, and you can wall run and get up here. Or you can do a high jump and just wall run in this corner until you can get all the way up here. Now, I'm going to show you the route that I use to clear this room. This is not the only route, but it's the route I find the easiest. You're going to jump over here. You're going to high jump onto this and wall run on it. I didn't hold my button. But you're going to, again, high jump from this one. And you're going to wall run, jump off over here. From here, we're going to jump to this one, wall run this pillar, and arrive here. Now, this is not the fastest way to do it. This is the route that I find the most consistent for beginners. If you want to see a fast way you can do this, you can do something akin to that. And I lost my momentum there, so I was dead. You can do something akin to that. You can also do a jump up to here, and then kick and jump all the way off of this pillar. There's several ways to navigate the pillars leading up to this room. But the important part is the actual skip. We're not going to be hitting the two levers. We are instead going to be aiming for the corner part of the wall there with a jump kick out of a slide. So it's going to be, I tend to line up kind of near the back here, but to be honest, I really do this one by feel. I would highly recommend practicing this one several times to get it down, because this is much more of a feeling one than anything. We're going to be kicking off the wall, then the metal grate that you can kind of see in the middle of my screen there, then the wall again, and then ledge grabbing on the metal grate. And if you do it correctly, it should look like this. Oh, it was a little too low. Not quite the angle I wanted, so I'll go again here. Let's grab here. And again, I'm showing this route not because it's the fastest, but because I feel it's the most consistent. Go for it again. And there we go. Once we're here, you're gonna jump up, grab the key, and throw yourself to the abyss. And I'll show one more time. Going to line up, and we're trying to hit a very, very shallow kick on the wall, as you noticed. Because if you go too harsh on the angle like that, you can land there, and then, depending on your spot, you can sometimes salvage it with a wall cling like that. But that is a much more advanced maneuver, and I would not expect a beginner to be able to salvage something like that. Oh. So the route I use, high jump. And again, you can use whatever route you feel gets you there the fastest. I don't know how I just took 2 hits of damage from that. I jump up here. Slide across sometimes. Sometimes I use this route. I've recently started to not like that route a bit. But, you know, I'm going to line up. I'm trying to get just on the inside of this wall. Do a slide jump. 1, 2, 3 kicks, and a grab. Okay, and once you have the key successfully in your grasp, we are literally just going to retrace our steps, and we're going to leave the way we came. You do a forward ultra hop here to get a little bit of height, or you can climb it normally. Now again, I want to stress that these tricks are very hard, and you I mean, you've been watching me make a plethora of small input mistakes here and there. There is nothing to be ashamed of with missing your tricks, needing to spend time practicing. Don't think that that is something that is a negative to you. Like, oh, I can't, hit my tricks consistently, or oh, I can't, do this one skip without practice. Now, once you have done both the Strike Break upgrade and gotten the Underbelly key, we're going to again head back to the throne room, as we often always do. And at this point, if we have done all 3 doors, so we have done this door here to get the skip to get the keep key, we have done this door here to get our ground pound upgrade, and we have done this door here to go through and get both the Underbelly key and the Strike Break upgrade, then we are done with the keep. And we can head down the hallway, out the front door, and into, after a bit of maneuvering, the theater. The last hurdle of the run. The last big roadblock. You'll see as I make my movement through here, a lot of the movement that's filler between these rooms is just keeping your speed with slide jumps. So from here, we have another situation where you can do a forward ultra hop or simply a high jump. I'll demonstrate here. Do wall clings. And again, you'll see here, if you ever just don't make a wall, you can always kick, ground pound, and immediately jump to get a backflip. And that will get you the little bit of extra height you need to get on a ledge. From here, we're going to slide jump to this big pillar and make our way through this door. This room looks intimidating, but I don't know what to tell you. I've never been hit by one of these axes. It looks intimidating, but I believe they have a hitbox, but I almost believe it's very forgiving. It's a deceivingly simple room. Now from here, we're going to be trying to get up to that door. To do so, we're going to use a very similar method to what we did before. We're going to ground pound with 1 kick to get up here. We're going to ground pound again, and we're going to wall run across. And sometimes you can go under this. Sometimes you can just hit the side here. It really depends on how good your wall run was. Let's see again here. Yeah, so sometimes you can just grab it like that. Sometimes you go a little too low, you have to go under. But either way, you should easily be able to make this. So you can kick off the wall here, and again, if I ever just don't make it with a kick, you can pull off that instant backflip. Here, we'll just simple wall ride across this wall to hit this lever, and that's one of the 3 levers we need in the theater done. Now, you can do this left to right in any order. I recommend doing right first, purely because it's my own muscle memory. And charge a Strike Break, come through here, make our way down. This room has a bit of really cool movement you can do with some practice like this. But you can also just come into the room normally, do a high jump here, and a high jump here. And that works just as well. Let me just jump back up here, and I'll attempt to show you. So I'm not actually really good at the cool movement here, but I will attempt to show you as best I can. I was a little too shallow of an angle, but you might be seeing the idea already. It's to do 2 ultra hops here, back and forth, to get to this lever. Now, we don't want to go this way just yet, because we don't have the upgrade to actually do it. So instead, we're going to jump this way, and do a forward ultra hop or a ground pound jump, depending on whichever you prefer, and make our way down here, hitting these switches, taking these elevators, and arriving at the last power-up for the run, the Soul Cutter. This gives that charge attack that we just got the upgrade a projectile, and we'll be putting that to good use. As we'll throw a charge attack there to hit that lever, and then from here, this is a fun one. You can do a jump, and then backflip up with 3 kicks to get up here. If you can't do the jump off of that, you can set yourself up right at the edge here, and just do a regular slide kick jump. Again, with 3 wall kicks, just back to back to back to get up here. That saves a good deal of time, but if you really can't do either, the intended solution is to just go here and throw a charge attack cutter and ride the elevator up. Now that we have this from here, we're going to come across our heads there. into this room and throw a charge attack directly across and hit this lever. This is a waiting segment. I usually just spam the crouch button or something else as I go across. You can slide jump off this early if you want. You don't have to. It's a bit risky. Now, the outside section. Looks tricky, deceivingly simple. You're going to jump around here and get yourself right into this corner. You're going to do a high jump, which will hit the lever, and then just start wall riding. There's normally a wall riding time limit, but because this wall changes angle or something, I'm not sure, you're just able to wall ride straight across it. There's nothing tricky about it. From here, just going to throw another air cutter right at that lever. This room, now this is arguably a very hard skip. You're supposed to go through a whole climbing section going across the walls with these poles. But what you can do here is do a high jump, and then 3 reverse wall kicks into a wall run here, and grab this ledge and skip the entire thing. If that's a little too tricky, you can high jump this way, kick this wall, kick here, and then kick again, and do a wall run. That also works. Once we're here, it's a high jump and a wall run. And then, oh, don't kick there. And then just one more wall run, and we're done here. Next thing, you can maintain speed through here, but if you don't, you're just going to give it a little slide jump here. You know, just do some wall runs right along the wall here. Don't bother going through the middle. It's too many jumps and you lose too much speed. Hug the outsides. Now, there's several different ways to do this room. I'm going to show you a few of them. The first one is as you jump in here, backflip immediately up, and you can start wall riding the corner. It's a little tricky. You start wall riding the corner and get up here. If you can't do that, or you think that's a little too difficult, you can come over here and do a high jump with a kick backflip and grab this ledge. Or you could slide over here with an ultra hop and get up here this way. And then from here, it's just a high jump and a ledge grab to get up to this plank of wood. Either way, many different roads lead us right here. We're going to jump up, kick, kick, kick on the wall, and just ride it over to this platform here. Now, this trick is probably one of the hardest ones. It's not required, and I'll show you a way that you can do this elsewise. But you're going to want to do a forward ultra hop. Ultra hops being, I don't think I've actually named them, being these like side flips, big side flips we've been doing. We're going to do a forward ultra hop. And then we're going to do 3 kicks on the wall, reverse kicks on the wall, into a wall run to get all the way up to there where my camera is looking right now. When you put together, it looks like this. Now, I understand that that might be monstrously difficult for a beginner, so I will offer you this alternative. Slide jump, right over here, use your kick to make it over here. And what we're going to do from here is high jump, and we're going to count out 6 wall runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to do just some simple wall kicks after our 6th, because 6 is our wall run limit, to get up here. Again, if you want to, you could also attempt to do back and forth wall kicks here, but the angle's a little tough. I much prefer to do the wall runs first. 4, 5, 6. Now wall kicks, and we're up here. Either way, however you get up here, we're going to make our way across here, maintaining momentum as wherever we can as best we can, and hit this lever. And with that, the theater is complete. With this, we have 3 of the 5 keys, which means we're in go mode. We are heading back to the Bailey and the tower to end the game. Exit through under the stage here. I have a little bit of a secret. You can just hit that angled wall with a kick to save yourself the time of pulling yourself on this ledge and jumping across. There's other ways, of course, to do the movement there, but I think that one's a little easy and it's not too difficult to do. And again, always just maintaining speed, doing whatever I can to, doing whatever you can to just not be slow. And from here, there's a couple different ways of navigating this room. Our end goal is to get out that door right there that's beyond this wall, gate, whatever you call it. The simplest method is to, just scale up this, climb the pole, and jump across with a wall slide. Now, if you want something a little bit faster, you can super jump here, cling the wall until you climb up, super jump here, kick the wall, and start to wall slide. And you'll see that that is notably faster than scooching your way up the pole. But however you do it, again, we get here with some hops and we'll exit out to the empty Bailey, and we're almost done. As you'll see, as I'm being slow arcs here to conserve my speeds. If I make too harsh of an angle, I won't make it. You'll see I do a flip there with the speed and momentum that I've saved. However, if you don't actually have any momentum saved, you can simply do a high jump here. 3 wall kicks will do you. Or if you're struggling with wall kicks, you can easily get up this by just wall running into the corner. We'll grab our 4th key, and our last key is at the top of the tower. Now, there's a couple different ways that you could choose to get back to the tower. I'm going to show you mine. I don't believe it's the fastest, but I do believe it is probably the easiest. You're going to come up here, and we're going to try and get back up to where that bridge is. So we're going to do a high jump there, slide along this wall, do a kick and a backflip to get up here. Then it's another high jump, kick, backflip. Now, that is I realize that's a good bit of momentum, and some of you may want a slightly easier path, which is fine. If you are very good at your hops, at your flips, when we came under this bridge, you can flip up here. Yeah, my sword. You can flip up here, and then do a forward flip to get across here. Of course, you could also high jump and wall run if your forward flips are a little iffy. And you could scale this box and this wall and just make your way across normally. Like I said, you do the method that's easier for you. If you're better at the ultra hops, you can take that route. If you want to be a little more, a little slower, but a little more consistent, you can take my side route there. Either way, we're heading towards the end of the run, and using jumps and kicks can easily keep momentum across the bridge here. We're coming up on the end of the run. The last thing to do is to scale the tower and beat the boss. I hope this guide has been somewhat helpful. If not very helpful, you can high jump on that elevator at a certain point to get up a little faster. I'll be honest with you, I don't know it, and I believe it does not save enough time to warrant learning. Now, our goal is to get to that pipe. I'm going to do so by getting up there. To that end, we're going to do another sideways flip here, grabbing this wall. And we're going to count out 3, 4, 5. Oh. And then, I don't know why I didn't grab the wall there. It was a bit of a wall jump jank. But we're going to make our way across, as we saw there, and actually land on that bridge instead of falling off of it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 5th one, we'll jump here, hit it with a kick and a backflip, and we'll get up here. Unfortunately, there is not really an easier way to do it than that. I feel that is the most consistent and easy way. There is a crazy route if you're insane. And I'll maybe show that, and maybe give 1 or 2 attempts at showing that, is you can make a jump like you did before, which I now can't even do, now that I'm thinking about what I have to do here. And then if you can maintain perfect speed, you can also do another jump back up there to wall run off it. But it is it's kind of an incredibly advanced maneuver, and I would not recommend it. 3, oh. I guess if you're too far in the corner, sometimes the wall run can simply fail. But that shouldn't be a problem. And if you somehow get on the wall going the wrong way there, you can just, veer off the wall a little bit like you saw me do and correct your angle. Here we wall ride around. We climb up the pole. We grab our final key. Come up to the door. Walk up to the door, because there's a bit of a bug where you might get a black screen for a while. So walk up the door and make your way up the path to Kingdom Hearts. And prepare for a boss fight. Now the good news is, you checkpoint here. Even if you hit no save crystals in the run, you checkpoint here. As we fall down. There are many things to say about our final boss here, the princess. The first one being that you can hit her on the way down. That's a fun little trick that someone showed me not too long ago. Oh cool, and you get to see her worst attack right now, which is, sometimes she just locks onto you with that spinning move, and that's something I wanted to bring up. I didn't think I was going to get a live demonstration right there. Okay, so, a few attacks. A single orb can be reflected back at her, and allow you to run in for 3 hits. When she claps her hands like this, she's going to summon a bunch of bouncing orbs. As long as you don't stay on the outer perimeter of the arena, you're pretty much fine. Now this is a big spinning attack where she's supposed to bounce off the walls and not just home in on you. So, pretty easy to dodge if you just jump over her. Let's see, get another shot thing. And as you see, I'm holding the lock-on button just to help the camera try and keep an eye on her. The lock-on is not amazing in this game, but it does at least track her position somewhat. And you'll see that a lot of the game is just moving at the princess and just hitting her out of her attacks or hitting her before she can attack in some cases. It's a long fight, so be prepared for a bit of an endurance test. Just time that a little bit. So when she hovers near you, she's going to do a 2-kick combo. Or I suppose a kick and slash combo. As you saw there, you just jump and do an air kick, and you can get away from it. Now this is a fun move. This might seem threatening, but if you hit it once, it becomes your projectile, and then it just doesn't hurt you. Oh, exciting. We've gotten this move twice. We've gotten that bug twice. That is one of the most unlucky things that can happen. But again, you notice that when she locks onto me like that, and if you're in that terrible spot, as Thulia's just pointed out to me a little earlier today, just jump up and touch the princess, not the spinning blade, and you only take half a heart of damage instead of a full heart of damage. You wouldn't do it a 3rd time. Okay, cool. I was almost believing she would do it 3 times in a row while trying to record for the tutorial. Now, a little bit ago while I was talking about that, you heard the glass breaking. That means we're in phase 2. Her moves are faster. They don't do any more damage, but they do come out a bit faster. It's overall nothing super to worry about. Her projectile move will begin to shoot many more projectiles, and her single reflected shot will begin to be a series of teleports around. In this move, you simply can just whack, and it doesn't hurt you anymore. Oh, wow, we actually did get it 3 times in a row. That's rather incredible, and there's not much you can do about that. Well, at least you get some good hits on her for it. I'll heal up in here just so we can potentially see more of her moves. She seems content to do the same ones over and over again. Here we go. So this one, there's really not much way to dodge it. I just simply mash the attack button to reflect as many projectiles as I can. And that's the one I wanted to show off here. Aside from that, the fight itself is more or less simple. And when you score that final hit there and you hear that crunch noise, that means you have won. Well, I hope I've been able to offer some insight into the Pseudoregalia 90% run. I feel like I touched on a good chunk of the mechanics and on a good chunk of the route itself. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments or send me a message directly on the speedrunning Discord. I'd be more than happy to answer them. But that has been Pseudoregalia 90%. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.